Hey, what's up, everyone? So I know I'm in my car tonight instead of at home because I just took a bike ride and the moment just struck me to make this video. And I know well, not always, but typically when the moment strikes me, I will never be as good at discussing a subject as when it's fiery and on fire in my head. And I think this may be an INTP thing. I'm curious what you think in the comments about that. But I just wanted to discuss real quickly what constitutes an expert at any field, but especially typology. I've thought about this a lot over the past year or two. Like, when can you really call yourself an expert? I mean, you're probably aware of the Dunning-Kruger effect, where the smarter someone is, the dumber they tend to think they are. So by that logic, my short answer is you can't really ever call yourself an expert. But practically speaking, we have to define terms somehow and know like who's credible, who's not, who knows what's going on, who doesn't. Before I go any further, I should tell you that knowledge is domain specific. It's very important to understand that all knowledge, there's a great book called Balance by Matthew Seat, I've mentioned it a couple times on this channel. Knowledge exists within a domain. So if you're good at soccer, it may not transfer to football. If you're good at lifting 1,000 pounds on the squat, it may not transfer to any other sports. You may take up principles from your life, but the actual acting things out and achieving things is not something that will necessarily transfer. You may be better at learning something else in the future. So for example, in typology, if I become an expert at Mbti, I may be able to transfer some of the principles that I learned to socionics, or I may be able to transfer to the big five or psychology in general, and vice versa. But I won't actually be good at one thing until I've studied that particular thing and tested it and experimented with it for a long time. So that's just one thing to understand. And now, how do you actually define an expert? Let's talk about this. I would say that if you know as much or more than the majority of people who are known in the field, like say in neuroscience, you've got people like Matt Lieberman, you've got David Buss. I don't know if he's an evolutionary psychologist, but whoever's known in the field, okay? If that person, if you know similar amounts to that person, and if you were to argue with them, they couldn't just destroy you instantly, then you can practically probably consider yourself credible and an expert on the subject. Now, this does not mean you have mastery. People were experts hundreds of years ago on subjects that are just complete pseudoscience today. It doesn't mean that they know what they're doing. True mastery, I would say, is in the vein of, are you asking the right questions? So what questions do we need to be asking about personality? Now there's also the other aspect, okay, now you've asked the right questions. Can you effectively answer those questions? And there are different, again, domains to this. Socionics is a different domain than general typology, Mbti or whatever, Jungian psychology. But I think there are people who are achieving mastery in that sense, or they're helping us move towards it. People who the true masters are the ones who help us move towards some sort of long-term solution here. Who would I just consider a master based on my current experience so far of all the people? I would say a lot of people know a lot of stuff, actually, in typology. But the one person I would really, I mean, there are multiple people, but one person I think who has the most commendable approach, in my opinion, is Dave's superpowers. Because he uses the scientific method, he tests ideas, he figures out ways to be consistent. And he talks about this in one of his videos, how to be accurate and precise at the same time. And he's increased his ability to not accurately, but precisely and repeatedly, consistently, through repeated trials, type someone the same. So there are objective measures and ways we can define things in order to type people so that we can understand people better and look for patterns and understand things about humans better. That's one of the huge benefits of the scientific method. You can learn things that you wouldn't learn just through thought experiments. Although as an INTP, and I'm sure other NTPs can relate, we just love thought experiments. Let's just imagine all these possible outcomes and not actually test anything. No, you've got to test stuff. You've got to balance between testing and thinking and all the parts of yourself. That's kind of the whole point of all this enlightenment stuff we talk about and where we're going with the world and ourselves. Okay, I think I got that off my chest, so hopefully the audio is good. I hope so. I normally try to make the audios like the best on YouTube. That's kind of my goal. I haven't really gotten there yet, but I'm getting better every video. Yeah, so any thoughts you have, especially towards what I asked at the beginning about, I forgot what it was, but if you go back to the beginning or if you remember. But other than that, yeah, thanks for watching, and I will try to get more stuff out on this channel. I don't think daily videos are the best for me. I think a long-term approach I really need to think a lot about what I talk about, and I need to really mull it over and test it. And those videos seem to do the best, and I think there's a reason for that, as opposed to being a little bit more impulsive in my style. I don't think that fits the nature of what we're all about here. Yeah, okay. See you guys.